Hello and welcome to another of my videos back on the channel. Today we are doing another character concept which we haven't done for some time, or at least a plant one. The last plant one we did was like, I think Bloodroot or something, which is quite a long time ago. So we're doing a plant one. As you can see, we have Flotus here, which is a play on words on lotus, if you hadn't realised. And yeah, we'll get into the details straight away because there's no time lapse to show or anything. So yeah, so it is a support class. That is the category it is in. We'll obviously see why later on, but yeah. In terms of its primary weapon, it does 4 damage per bullet, and it shoots 4 bullets at a time, and overall has 28 ammo. So it basically shoots in bursts of 4, and each bullet does 4 damage. So you can do like 16 damage per burst pretty much, and you have 28 ammo, which is 7 bursts, because 4 times 7 is 28. So yeah, that is his primary. Nothing too special. Most of the concepts have been pretty complicated for what their primary weapon is, but this is probably the more simple one. It's just a quad burst. So yeah, that is that. In terms of its health, this is probably one of the lower health characters I have made. 75, so it's the same as Nightcap and Imp without any upgrades on. So yeah, it's quite it doesn't have much health, and that's also because it's quite small. It's quite a small character, as you can see, compared to Citron. It's probably around the same height as a Nightcap, maybe a bit thicker. It should probably be a tiny bit smaller due to one of its abilities, which I'll explain later, but that is its size. In terms of how it would move, it would probably kind of like shift around. It doesn't really have legs, so I guess it would kind of just, yeah, I think it would just kind of shift around, maybe just kind of like almost move like a snake. You know how they kind of bob their head back and forth as they're going, so maybe something like that, I don't know. But yeah, so that is how Flotus looks. So its ability, so its first ability is called Levitation Condensation. So Flotus creates a ring of petals around itself. Any zombie that is within the ring will begin floating for 10 seconds. This makes the zombies more vulnerable, however they can still shoot, but they cannot use any abilities whilst floating. If plants are within the ring of petals, they will be healed by 20 HP. So this is kind of a half supportive ability, because you can heal people. If people are wounded, it could help quite a lot. But if people are on like max health, it won't really do anything. And it obviously pretty much kind of half stuns the zombies, because it kind of, yeah, so they can't use abilities, they can't move, they're just kind of floating in the air. They can shoot, but you know, if you kind of go underneath them, they're not going to be able to shoot you, so you can just go underneath them, shoot up, and then they die in midair. So that's kind of the idea of this. If you went onto a point, maybe attacking or defending, it could be either, and you use this, you know, it would benefit you if there were other zombies or plants there. So that is that ability. This is the reason it's called Flotus, because it makes them float. So yeah, that is that. It's nothing too complicated. These are all pretty simple abilities. So yeah, we'll go to the next one, which is very similar to an existing one. So Lotus Leech. Flotus will go on top of a plant's head and will be able to shoot whilst on the plant, and can also use abilities whilst in this mode. Very similar to Wizard's team-up mechanic. So obviously Wizard has the star ball thing where you can go into someone's head in that weird like star thing. I don't know what it's called, like Stargazer or something. But he can do that. He can use his like Z-Elixir and the Spell Disaster ability whilst in that. And this is the same for Flotus. She or he, I don't know the gender, but they can go into like wrap themselves around the head of a plant and shoot from it, and also use abilities, because that's why they're a small plant they can wrap around. And they do kind of look like a hat. You know, you can just kind of imagine like this kind of sitting on top of a sunflower or something. It's quite small. The only plant which it would be a bit weird to have on top of is an acorn, because they would be like the same size. But I'm sure if this was to be a real thing, they would have a solution to it. Maybe it can't go on acorn or something. But yeah, so it's a team-up mechanic. It's basically this is like the Wizard equivalent ability, because there's nothing like it on the plant. So yeah, it would kind of, I guess, even things out a bit, I guess. But yeah, so that is that ability. Nothing too complicated, as it pretty much already exists in game, so you know what to refer it to. But the third ability is called Lotus Eater. So a bit of context behind the name. There is a Greek myth where there are these people who are stuck on an island and they eat lotuses, and they're called the Lotus Eaters. They eat the lotus because it makes them sleepy and kind of drowsy and forgetful, almost hypnotized, and they do it so that they can like escape reality or something. So that is the context behind it. It sounds quite deep, but basically Flotus will create a mist around itself which will linger for 7 seconds. If a zombie walks into the mist, they will become sleepy and will be slower, as well as having much lower sensitivity. They will not be able to use abilities, and the effect would last for 10 seconds. So it would make them, obviously, yeah, it would make them slower, that their sensitivity would be slower. It would make maybe like a visual effect could change. Maybe you have like Zeds floating across the screen as they're asleep, or like it becomes dimmer because they're like falling asleep or something. And it's kind of similar to, I guess, the goop or grotty goop or whatever it's called, because it just doesn't do damage. It just kind of slows them down, makes them not be able to do anything. I guess they could still shoot, but it would be really hard to because their vision will be all blurred. So it's pretty much like Hypnoshroom as an ability combined with goop, both of those. So yeah, I'm proud with the context behind this ability, the Greek mythology thing, but I feel like I had to include it. It's a big thing to do with lotuses. If you ever just look up lotus on Google, it pops up. So yeah, it's only seemed fair. But those are the abilities. So now onto the special ability, which is a thing we started doing with the characters since Plague Doctor, which I think was the last concept actually. But anyway, so the special ability: when killed, a less powerful version of Lotus Eatus will be activated around its vanquished body. So when you kill Flotus, the mist will appear, the mist from this ability, and it will be just like a less powerful version of that. So you want to make sure if you kill them up close, you get out of there as quickly as possible, otherwise you're going to be in a bit of a sticky situation. So yeah, it's nothing too special. This character out of them all doesn't have any like really weird quirk about it, or any weird like mechanic or anything. So yeah, I feel like this out of all of them I could actually imagine being in the game. Maybe obviously some changes with the design. Originally this was going to be a patch of grass, but then I realised it doesn't look like grass, so then I changed it into a lotus. So yeah, it would probably take some design changes, but other than that I feel like the abilities are fairly, fair. They're balanced, you know, like it doesn't completely go out the way. They're a support character, you know. I feel like it's kind of quite a fair character, quite a lot, not that much health, so quite small. So yeah, I'm happy with this concept. It's probably one of my favourite ones so far, for plants at least. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've got many more videos coming soon that I've been planning. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!